Fueling up will become more expensive for motorists as Singapore goes green with petrol duties raised for the first time since 2015. It is among other tax changes, which include a plan to impose GST on overseas goods coming in by air from 2023. And for the first time in decades, Singapore is planning to borrow to fund major long-term infrastructure. It will do so by issuing new bonds. This is among ways the government is gearing up to pay for recurrent needs. Brandon Tanoto with more.
Pumping petrol will now cost motorists up to 15 cents more per litre. Duties have been raised to a total of 79 cents for premium grades and 66 cents for others. It's part of efforts to curb car use and get more to go electric. To cushion the change, road tax rebates of up to 15% will be given for a year from August. Cabbies, private hire car drivers and motorcyclists will also get petrol duty rebates.
These measures will offset about 1 year of petrol duty increases for taxis and motorcycles, and about 2/3 for commercial vehicles and cars. Most of the expected revenue increase from the petrol duty changes in the coming year will be given out through the offsets, estimated to cost $113 million.
At the same time, other tax changes include plans to apply GST on imported goods $400 and below from 2023. These are typically bought from online retailers and shipped by air. Mr. Heng explains that this will level the playing field for local businesses by giving overseas suppliers the same GST treatment. Meanwhile, the planned GST hike won't happen this year, but Mr. Heng says this can't be put off for too long and will take place sooner rather than later, sometime between 2022 and 2025.
Without the GST rate increase, we will not be able to meet our rising recurrent needs, in particular healthcare spending. While we are fortunate to be able to tap on our reserves to respond to the COVID-19 crisis, it is not tenable for the government to run persistent budget deficits outside periods of crisis.
The government will also issue bonds to spread out the cost of major infrastructure projects like new MRT lines over the next 15 years.
These new bonds will allow a fair and efficient way of distributing the fiscal responsibility. Fair, because these payments are borne by the generations who will directly benefit from the improved infrastructure. Efficient, because they allow us to benefit from the current low interest rates environment. As a safeguard, we'll set a limit of $19 billion for borrowing under SINGA. This is based on the expected pipeline of major long-term infrastructure projects over the next 15 years.
Mr. Heng says the President has given her in-principle support for this approach. The bonds will be under the Singapore Infrastructure Government Loan Act, which will be tabled in Parliament later this year. Other safeguards will also be added to the bill, which will be open to scrutiny by Parliament and the public.